will take the outside stall. 4-5 right now on Enable. And they're all in line. We are ready for a start. They're off in the Breeders' Cup turf. Glorious Empire goes immediately to the early lead, and Channelmaker is sent along on the inside, so these two are 1-2 early on, and Enable is right behind them, and now High Happy goes into the mix too. Then it's Robert Bruce, Talismanic on the inside, and Hunting Horn. Magical is in behind them, 5.5 lengths off the lead, then Quarteto de Cortes, followed by Arklow on the inside of Waldgeist. Liam the Charmer is next, and Sadler's Joy trails. The first quarter was 24.65 seconds for Glorious Empire, who leads Channelmaker by 3/4 of a length, heading into the stretch for the first time. High Happy is perched outside of them, running in third position as they straighten out. And then it's Talismanic, last year's winners. Don on the inside, 5 lengths off the lead. Enables in between horses. Hunting Horn is there on the outside. And then comes Robert Bruce, followed by the other filly in the race, Magical, who's 6 lengths off the lead. Waldgeist is next, and then comes Arklow. They continue through a 49.11 half mile. And then it's back to Liam the Charmer, Quarteto de Cortes, and the trailer is Sadler's Joy. Glorious Empire on top as they make their way into the clubhouse turn. Channelmaker continues to be the closest pursuer in second, and High Happy is third. And then on the inside is Talismanic. Enable is fifth right now, and she's 5.5 lengths off the lead. 3/4 up in 1:14.22. Solid enough on this going as they head on to the back stretch. Hunting Horn is outside of Enable. Now they're moving together, and they're about 3.5 lengths off the lead. And just ahead of Magical, who right to the outside of her has Robert Bruce. And then it's Waldgeist. On the inside comes Arklow. So they continue up the backstretch, and it's been Glorious Empire all the way so far. Channelmaker is second, High Happy is third. Meanwhile, Enable at this stage of the race is seventh, and she's 3 lengths off the lead, running in behind horses, moving for the far turn. Let's see where she goes from here. Around the turn they go, and High Happy has taken the lead. Hunting Horn is second, and now Frankie Dettori brings Enable to the outside of them, and here she comes up for the lead as they come to the top of the stretch. Magical's moving with her, and she got an inside run, and they're into the stretch, and the two fillies are 1-2, Magical and Enable, and they kick on from Sadler's Joy. It's Enable on the outside in the center of the turf course. She has taken the lead, and she's pulling away from Magical, who continues to battle her though. It's these two, 1-2 down to the finish. Enable and Magical, and they're well clear of the others. Racing Royalty, Enable, and Frankie Dettori. The ARC winner is the Breeders' Cup Turf winner too. Magical was second. It was a long way back to Sadler's Joy and Arklow. Enable has done it.
And Enable able to do that double with the ARC, and here winning the $4 million Longines Breeders' Cup Turf. From off the pace, right around, not too far from the lead, but then that big move as we got to the top.
Textbook ride. He put Enable 5th or 6th early. He moved her out to the 4th path, the better going in the racetrack. He had her settled. Everybody had a chance. Happily was right. I mean, Magical was right next to her. Waldgeist moved up and behind her. But turning for home, Ryan Moore on Magical cut the corner, came inside Enable. Enable took the wider path, and then it was game on the last quarter of a mile between Magical and Enable.
What a fantastic run through the lane as these two pulled, what, 5-6 lengths clear of the rest of the field. Finally, an ARC winner comes to the United States and wins a Breeders' Cup race, and boy, did she do it in style. And how about as they were galloping out after the race, two of the very best jockeys in the world, Frankie Dettori, Ryan Moore, reaching out, grasping hands. They knew exactly what kind of race they had just given these people.
To Nick Luck.
With trainer John Gosden, who won the first edition of the Breeders' Cup Mile in 1984, took the Breeders' Cup Classic in 2008. How special does this victory rank amongst those, John?
Yeah, it was a big ask for the fillies. Everyone knows she's had a difficult year. She didn't quite come here in the form she would have come last year. But look, she's done it. It was a tough race. Frankie was determined to stay wide, looking for the better ground. On the other hand, Hunting Horn was attending him all the way. And then Ryan slipped up our inner, and I thought, this is the filly we've got to beat. She was brilliant at Ascot the other day, and like a 3-year-old filly coming to her prime, Magical, I thought she's the one who's going to have us. Wonderful, wonderful stretch run between two great fillies and two great jockeys, and yeah, we've come out on top. And look, full marks to the filly, because it has not been she's been very brave and very mentally very strong to get herself here.
How sick was she going into the Arc de Triomphe, and how difficult was it to get her back off the Arc?
And she was let out for a week, you know, which is not ideal when you've only had one prep on the all-weather. And prior to that, we had the injury issue. But look, maybe she's getting better. But anyhow, she did it today with sheer guts and determination. And it's wonderful for her owner, breeder Prince Khalid, who's been the massive supporter of the Breeders' Cup since 1984, when I first sat with him in Hollywood Park. And he brought Dancing Brave in '86, and he's been a huge supporter of the Breeders' Cup, and he was very keen to come here, and he's been rewarded. A neck defeat would have been a tough one.
It wasn't a neck defeat, it was a victory. It was a wonderful victory. John, congratulations.
Thank you.
John Gosden. Donna.
Frankie, you've been saying all week that you were nervous about this race, and now after watching the race, I'm wondering, what did you have to be nervous about?
She conquered America. I was the first one to do it. Amazingly, I've got no words to say how brilliant she is. Obviously, as you know, we had 2 inches of rain this last 48 hours. Her wheels were spinning around the bend, so I took a wide trip to get on the fresh ground, and then she got comfortable. And then
you went wider and wider and wider.
I went for the better ground, and she found another gear, you know. Her wheel was spinning on the soft ground, and anyway, she's amazing.
She's a 2-time ARC winner, won the Arc de Triomphe at 3 years old, came back and won it this year after missing a lot of time in training. Prior to her, 8 ARC winners have tried. 8 ARC winners have failed to win this race. How special is she?
She conquered America! She done it! It's very special.
What did Brian Moore say to you as you all crossed the finish line, kind of together?
Well, he beat me on Golden Horn, so now the record's even. But look, Donna, let me go and enjoy this lovely crowd. Bye.
I'll let you go. Go celebrate, Frankie.
Thank you, Donna. It's Breeders' Cup victory number 14 back-to-back here in the races on the turf on this Saturday afternoon for the 47-year-old Italian-born Frankie Dettori. And Jerry pointed out, terrific ride there with Enable, able to come over to the U.S. and take that line out. Horse hasn't won the Arc and come over and won the Breeders' Cup turf. Forget about that. Enable took care of that little bit of history under the Twin Spires at the 2018 Breeders' Cup for John Gosden. His history in this event dates back to the original Breeders' Cup. Gets a win here in the 35th edition. Enable, as advertised, as good as there is. To the cheers of the crowd.